In this episode, we're going to be talking about the absolute bane of any production, and that's when somebody important decides not to show up. Now, this can apply to a crew member, but for this video, we're going to be talking specifically about actors. When an actor who is cast either in a starring or a heavy supporting role decides that they're too important to lose, they can become a little bit of a pain. I've seen this happen on several film sets, and it's annoying to everybody because we show up on set during cast call and then we wait, and we wait, and we might wait the whole day before Little Mr. Important or Little Miss Prima Donna decides she's going to make her grand appearance. Or sometimes they don't show up at all. The director's in a hell of a bind because we've already shot half the film. So when somebody who knows that they're important to the production starts getting uppity about it, it can lead to a disaster. The worst is when the day is scheduled for that actor alone, or for that actor and maybe another one or two. When the whole day centers upon that person and they decide not to show up, it leaves everybody in a bind. Now, you would think that we would just be able to shoot some other scenes that don't involve the actor, which is sometimes true, but when we're dealing with several days where only a couple actors are scheduled and the others are off doing their own thing, not expecting to have to come in, this wastes the day, wastes a lot of money, wastes a lot of time, and can really turn people up against that particular actor. I've heard of several reasons why these actors decide not to show up on set. Sometimes they claim to forget what day it was. Or maybe they were out partying the night before and are just too hungover to do their job. Maybe they're still in bed and they forgot to set their alarm. More serious answers are that a lot of actors suffer from depression, and that could have gotten the better of them with all the stress right before a big shooting day. Or they might have gotten into a car accident or had some other kind of medical emergency. When they don't call you, it usually means that they're not interested in what kind of problems they're giving the production. Sometimes you'll have a production manager try to call to get a hold of the actor. They may or may not respond to the phone call. When they do, it's usually some feeble excuse, and it's really hard to know the truth of why an actor has decided to become a no-show. The absolute worst are the ones that think that they're irreplaceable. These are usually your leads, or somebody that was cast specifically for a role that was practically written for them. These are the ones that can get really, really prima donna-ish, and they're the ones that are hardest to work with on set. Now, one approach to prevent, or at the very least minimize this problem, is to put your second choice for any role on the crew. Many actors are willing to do anything to get their foot in the door on a film set. So if you had a second choice for the actress who's giving you problems, you might have cast that person as a extra and also had them work with the wardrobe department or act as a PA. This might not be known to the main actress, but in the case where problems are starting to become apparent, you might want to have a meeting with the second choice, just to let them know that they might be thrown into the role at the last minute if the first actress decides to continue to be a pain. This is always a tricky meeting, because you're basically asking somebody to become an understudy. Now, if that person's been working on your crew, she's already well aware of how much trouble the little prima donna has been causing. She's probably been thinking about the possibility of being put into the role. It's a difficult discussion, but it is one to be made as soon as you realize that the actress that you cast is really putting a cramp on the production. I don't put up with a lot of shenanigans like that when I'm directing. If it's the first day for an actor who's in a major role and that person decides to play prima donna, I'll throw somebody else in that role without hesitation. There's usually not enough time or money to play these kind of games with people who think that they're the greatest thing in your film. Sometimes throwing in a substitute at the last minute is not an option. I've known a couple directors who have lost major characters, even halfway through shooting, who have had to stop everything, hold a meeting, and decide to fire the actress or actor and replace them with somebody better. This does cause the problem of having the auditions process going on again, but in the long run, in order to make the film the best it can, sometimes it is important to put the production on hold, find somebody better to play the role, and then proceed. Start at the beginning again. If your cast and crew are excited about the project, they might even agree to do it for little or no pay, just to make sure that this movie gets done right. Of course, holding the audition process all over again can be all kinds of fun, but this time you know what to look for. You know what kind of attitudes to watch out for. Try to weed out anybody who seems a little flighty or who seems a little bit uppity, and especially somebody who piles on the compliments to you during the audition process. These are usually warning signs that something's not right about the actress and that she might be a problem later on. But all in all, getting rid of the divas is usually a great idea in order to keep your cast happier and your project will look much better. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of the Unconnected Filmmaker, and if you found this information useful and want to be notified when the next video premieres, just hit that subscribe button. Or if you have anything you'd like to see an episode on, feel free to comment below. See you next time, and keep those cameras rolling.